We're just gonna wait for it to get started, and everybody's gonna see us, and then we'll say hi to everybody. Okay. We just gotta wait for everybody to see us. They're not here yet. So see how these countdowns. You see all these countdowns. So now these are live, which means people can see us, but we gotta wait till people come in because it just announces to everybody that Daddy started the video.
Where's the red hearts?
Right there, look. The red hearts are gonna come up right over here, but we have to wait till more people come in, then they start giving the hearts. You see the hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then it counts there, so then everybody can see. So now we just go live over here. And
Do you
we're live.
see all these countdowns right there?
Yeah, so it was counting down, then it stopped counting down. So because it started. So now they can see us right here. You see this little red box? It says live, that means people can see it. And over here, you see where it says right here, where it's red?
I don't know.
That means people can see it. So people can see us over here.
I will say hello to LinkedIn and TikTok.
Yeah, how do you know? You have good memory. How do you remember that?
And who's the other clock?
There's 7 different platforms we're on right now. So LinkedIn is one of them.
Hi, LinkedIn.
Hi, LinkedIn. And this is Rumble and YouTube.
Hi, Rumble on YouTube.
Rumble and YouTube. And then we have Facebook.
Hello, Facebook.
And then we have Instagram over here.
Hi, Instagram.
And then this is TikTok right here.
I already said TikTok.
Yes, you did. You can say hi to them again. They didn't all hear you.
Hi, TikTok.
Yes, everybody's in there. So the thing is, you can say hi more than one time because everybody didn't hear you the first time because they didn't all come in the room. Right now is 27 people on TikTok. There's going to be more people. So when more people come in, then you can say hi to them again because they didn't hear you the first time you said hi. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you can say hi more than once. It's okay. So now I'm just getting a pinned comment over on Rumble Studio. Good morning, Rumble Studio, YouTube. Oh, X. We didn't say hi to X. Can you say hi to X?
Hi, X.
So that's X. And now we can pin our comment over on IG. Val Tinaglia, good morning. Chase 30, good morning over there on Instagram. Shout yourselves out in your locations if you are checking in on TikTok. Shout your locations out. Be careful with your truck and make sure you don't hit the microphone, okay? Because if you hit the microphone, you can't hear us. Shout out to YouTube, Rumble Studio. Let's see what we got going on TikTok. Nikki, good morning to you.
I can't make
the bean.
My mouth took into a wheelie. Oh, there you go.
Yes, but be careful you don't hit the microphone, okay? You can do that, but don't hit the microphone. The bean asked that I eat today.
There we go.
I'm a very routinized person, so if I ate yesterday, then I ate today. That'd be my answer to that question. Legion said, "I miss my boys when they were that age." You know, people who have kids, they always say that to me when they see me with the kids. Let's see. Legion said, "Now they're almost teenagers and I'm a little tougher." Yeah, they probably can't sit on your lap anymore. Los Angeles is in the building. Connecticut is in the building. Nikki Sagittarius said, "Send him
Daddy,
to fight for Trump's wars."
Why you keep me lifting me up from there?
Am I lifting you up?
Yeah, because you can't lift me up because I'm sitting here.
I'm not lifting you up. I'm just keeping you from falling off. Because if I move my arm, you're gonna fall off. You see?
Yeah.
See how you can fall off? You can fall off and hit your head. So I'm just keeping you up. So we got Compton, California in the house. Shout out to Compton. And my son, what were we just listening to? Were we listening to this guy right here?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
This is who we were listening to. You know who this guy is? Philadelphia is in the building. What does he look like? Can you describe what this guy looks like?
Yeah.
What does he look like?
He looks like Spider.
Spider? Yeah, because the front of the picture looks like you got shattered glass. That's shattered glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else does he look like? How would you describe him?
He has red stuff.
Red stuff, yeah, the background is red.
These.
Yeah, the background is red, and what does his face look like?
The face looks like this.
Yeah, that is how he looks. He looks does he look happy?
No.
Does he look mad?
Yes.
He was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite artists. His name. What was he saying in the song?
I don't know.
You were singing it. What did he say in the song? You don't remember?
No, I don't.
He's one of my favorite artists. His name is 50. Can you say 50?
50.
50. Yeah, his name's 50. So that's what we were listening to. We were listening to this before we started the live stream. So what we talking about here today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this Jeff Bezos,
This king.
Lauren Sanchez wedding. I had never heard of Lauren Sanchez. I never heard of Lauren Sanchez before she got with Jeff Bezos, but allegedly she's been around for a while in the media space. She was a TV personality, and she was, her and Jeff, according to what I've heard and read, were both with other people than they got with each other. What we know, famously, Jeff Bezos had a wife.
And I gotta play with my grave diggers.
You can play here.
No, I can't play here because you're doing your live stream.
Okay.
I have to play somewhere else.
You can bring them in here. How about you bring them in here? Can you bring a couple of them in here? Don't bring too many because it's going to take up too much space. But you can bring maybe 2 of them in here. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. You go get them and bring them back in here. You have that one? You want to bring another one or just that one?
This one.
Just these? Okay. You want to sit up here? Okay. That one is more manageable. That's a better idea. Yeah. So Jeff Bezos was already married, and we know he broke up with his wife and wrote a big check. And Lauren Sanchez allegedly was with somebody else, and she broke up with that guy, and they got together. They had a wedding this past weekend. Some of you may have heard of it. I don't even know where they had this wedding at. It was somewhere overseas, somewhere in Europe. It's probably in my notes here. But Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez officially tied the knot in the wedding to set off a tidal wave of opinions, memes, and backlash all across social media. And that's what I want to discuss here. It's not really about Jeff Bezos himself and Lauren Sanchez, but the reactions that people had to it. I think some people went a little bit overboard, and we're going to talk about why that's happening. It was in Venice. Okay. Valentinaglia said it was in Venice. So it set off a whole bunch of response, let's just say that, across social media. Now, the event was reportedly an over-the-top affair. I think we can agree to that. Bless you. You need a napkin? Wipe your hands. Is an over-the-top affair with a guest list, with a bunch of A-list celebrities. I saw the Kardashians were there. A bunch of tech people were there. Hollywood people were there. And what caught a lot of attention was Sanchez herself, because people didn't like her. A lot of people were attacking her wedding dress. They said they didn't like the wedding dress. And then people were posting before and after photos of her, what she used to look like. I believe she's 55 years of age. I didn't know she was that old. When I first saw her, I thought she was like early 40s. But she's 55, and the doctors have done a good job. I think we can say that, and she will probably agree. The doctors have done a good job. She's 55 years of age. And they were showing these before and after photos of all this surgery that she's done. Actually, we can't say that the doctors have done a good job of doing what she asked them to do. Now, they've done a good job in certain parts, and in certain parts, she's probably asked for more than she actually wanted, I think, is the more fair thing to say here. Are you going to get another truck and come back?
Yes.
Okay. Get it and come back. Okay, go get it and come back. So a lot of people were comparing her before and after photos. They critiqued her appearance, and they questioned Jeff Bezos's taste. And I've heard a lot of people talking about this. So many people pointed out the alleged cost of the wedding. They say it ranged between 50 and 500 million. I don't know what number it was. It was a lot of money. We can say it was at least 50 million spent on this wedding. I think that was the official first number that I heard, but I heard people say bigger numbers. And depending on what you're counting, there was a yacht, there was a travel, there's the venues, and that kind of money. Okay, great. It ignited a whole lot of public anger. I don't know how you're going to play with both of those up here. This is not that much space. But it ignited a lot of public anger. People are like, well, hey, if Jeff Bezos can spend that much money on a wedding, then they can spend that much money on feeding the homeless, feeding the hungry, and housing the homeless, and taxing. He could pay his fair share of taxes. Joe Biden voice, pay his fair share of taxes, et cetera, instead of throwing this billionaire spectacle to a woman that he might not even like, and who knows how long this marriage is even going to last, and the woman got all this plastic surgery, et cetera, et cetera. And other people talked about the vibe of the wedding, that it seemed highly produced. It was very performative. It was attended by a lot of people who might not even be their friends. And people were saying, well, it looks like Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez don't even have real friends because they got the Kardashians. Are they really? Is Jeff Bezos really friends with the Kardashians? Probably not. Is Lauren Sanchez really friends with what's the woman's name? Kris Jenner? Probably not. Is Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King, are they really friends with Bezos and Sanchez? Probably not. So this is basically the elites, as people like to call them. I don't call them that, but a lot of people call them elites, throwing a party to basically celebrate themselves, similar to what you would say about the Oscars or the Emmys or the Grammys. All these people who are supposed to be these super important individuals throwing an event to basically celebrate themselves, give awards to each other, and tell each other how great they are. Look at those hearts. You see the hearts?
Yeah.
Can we please get the hearts going? Can we get the likes up on TikTok? I forgot to tell y'all from the beginning. Please get the likes up on TikTok. We're at 2,000 likes. Let's get to 10,000, please.
Let's get the
quickly.
Like smash.
Yes, let's get the likes up. Let's get the 10,000 likes quickly. Don't do it too hard here because we don't want to shake the desk, okay? And we don't want to hit the microphone. So this is what some people were saying, and on some levels, I could kind of understand that because I don't think these people are actually friends.
Maybe I can't play them.
Not too rough. Not too rough here. Don't slam them on the desk, okay? Because that makes too much noise.
I got King Zombie and Gravedigger.
Okay, great. Now I just need you to be quiet so I can talk. So I can understand it on one level that I don't think these people are really friends, but at the same time, when you're in that space, what other kind of people can you relate to? And at the same time, there's another point that there was a guy who was on Megyn Kelly yesterday. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he actually had some really good points. He was saying, let me look up his name, because one of the things that he said was, if you look at Jeff Bezos, that's so much noise, please. If you look at Jeff Bezos when he was first coming up, let me see if I can find this episode. It was it yesterday? Yeah, it was this guy named Walter Kern. Walter Kern, Kirn. I never heard of him before, but I heard him on Megyn Kelly the other day. He actually had some witty insight. Okay, you can come back. You want to come back? No. Okay. All right, I'll see you later. And he was saying that when Jeff Bezos first came out, he was this geeky nerd who probably didn't have a ton of friends. He was a tech computer geek. And Lauren Sanchez was a just regular news anchor that not many people knew about. Now, all of a sudden, Jeff Bezos is, I don't know, he's changed in some ways. You've seen pictures of him now. I guess he goes and lifts some weights now. Now, she went and got all that work done, all that plastic surgery done, to the point that she probably overdid it. And at the same time, when you get older, that whatever you did starts to kind of, the effects of it start to show a little bit more, and it becomes, I guess you can call it problematic for lack of a better term. And a lot of people are mad about just the fact that this whole spectacle existed. And again, attacking the people involved, Jeff Bezos for being this oligarch in the terms of Bernie Sanders, who is basically exploiting the everyday person to make himself and keep himself rich. And then you have someone like Lauren Sanchez, who has basically hopped from man to man. This is what they're saying. Hopped from man to man to build herself up and build her career up. And now she's married into Jeff Bezos. And get the likes up on TikTok, please. Married with Jeff Bezos, and then she got all that plastic surgery, and a lot of people were going at her for the surgery thing. I'll say this about the surgery piece with Lauren Sanchez is, while personally, I believe she overdid it. She did a little bit too much. And there are others who had surgery done who get to her age, and it doesn't look that bad, depending on what angle you take and depending on what picture you choose to look at. You can look at it as bad, you can look at it as good. I think it's in bad taste to go and attack the woman just because you don't like the way she looks on her wedding day. That's a little bit extra. I think that's just extra. I have no connections to Jeff Bezos or Lauren Sanchez. Again, I never heard of this woman before, I guess a year or so ago when I saw her out with Jeff Bezos. And I'm like, all right, so Jeff Bezos went and got a chick with some obviously not real breasts, and that's what he's into. Fine, if that's what he likes. That's what he likes. That's completely fine. And all the people attacking her, just showing her pictures. Again, what do people have against the woman? She didn't do anything. She hasn't said anything. The only thing I heard her say or seen her talking about that was maybe somewhat worth ridicule was when they did that going to outer space shenanigan about a month or two ago. Did y'all see that? When they sent these women to outer space, it was her, Lauren Sanchez, it was Gayle King, it was Katy Perry, and it was at least one other woman. I can't remember who the other woman was. Any of you remember who those other women were that did the go to outer space thing that they did? And then when they came back from outer space, quote unquote outer space, they didn't it wasn't that they technically went to outer space. They did like this. I can't even explain exactly what they did. They didn't really go to outer space, but they were on a spaceship and they did this little trip and they came back and they were all talking about it. Shai said they didn't go anywhere. Oh, well, they did something where they experienced like non-gravity and now they're acting like they're astronauts and they want to be called astronauts. And Gail King was defending it. Like, have you been? Have you been? How are y'all criticizing it? You haven't done it. You haven't been there. And they're basically trying to talk themselves up as if they're astronauts. That's the only time I ever heard this woman having said anything. And the whole point of me bringing this up is to say she doesn't deserve any criticism. What she do? She didn't do anything. She's a TV anchor who went and got some breasts, and now she got Jeff Bezos. And I'm pretty sure he has a prenup this time around. I don't think he had a prenup his first divorce. Let me see if we can find out about his prenup. Not the prenup, but actually not the prenup, but the first divorce. I can't remember how much money he had to pay. Let's get this out of here. How much money was Jeff Bezos' first marriage settlement when he paid off his ex-wife? It was a lot of money. So that's what I want to find out. I know he has a prenup for this wedding because Jeff Bezos seems like a pretty smart guy. So who knew? I don't think he knew that Amazon was going to become Amazon when he got married to his first wife, nor maybe he probably didn't think that he was going to break up with his first wife, which he did. And people are comparing her, Mackenzie Scott, that's his first wife, to this chick that he's with now. It's open, son. Open the door. It's open. So Mackenzie Scott in 2019, she received 25% of Amazon, which at the time equaled $35 billion with a B, $35 billion. Jeff kept the remaining 75% of Amazon and full voting control over Mackenzie's shares. So he still controls the company. He just had to give her $35 billion worth of stock worth. This made Mackenzie Scott one of the richest women in the world overnight. And despite keeping just 25%, her wealth fluctuated because of Amazon stock. So $35 billion. I'm pretty sure he has a prenup this time. And I've seen prenups where it would be something like for every year married, you get another $1 million if we break up. So if they're married for 5 years, she could get like $5 million. I'm not saying that's the prenup this time, but I'm pretty sure he has a prenup. I don't know what anybody has a problem with Lauren Sanchez for. She didn't do nothing. Now, you got a problem with Jeff Bezos on this if you've been buying into Bernie Sanders and his offspring, AOC's argument that these people with a lot of money are the biggest problem in America and they're causing everybody else to be rich. That part I can understand. It said $35 billion is insane. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Well, it's actually paper money, is assuming she didn't sell any of the stock. The thing is, she was around when he started the company. So I understand. When he started the company, she was there. And if you read the books about Amazon, when it first started, he didn't really have anything. And when you're trying to run a business, get a business going from scratch, a lot of time you spend investing time and sweat equity, but there's no money coming back. So she was the one who was kind of keeping the family afloat while he was trying to make Amazon into Amazon. She was with him through the whole ride. They didn't break up till 2019. So 2019, Amazon was Amazon. Everybody was on Amazon by 2019, and she was along for the ride. So is it fair to say she deserved that cut? Yes. It's fair to say she deserved a 25% cut. She was there when it was at zero. And when they broke up, she got 25%. That's fair. Shit, she could have, I don't know how she didn't end up getting half. It probably could have been more than that. So 25% is actually a steal for Jeff Bezos, being that she was around when the company was nothing. So I have no problem with that. And the question here, what we're really talking about is about this wedding itself. Two consenting adults doing things their way. I don't see a problem with this. Why people are trashing Jeff Bezos. They have the money, they have the freedom, and they have a life that allows for it. So the question is this everybody's business? The answer is yes, it is, because they put it out publicly. I believe Lauren Sanchez was on the cover of Vogue magazine. So they won't even put Donald Trump's wife, Melania, on the cover of any of these magazines as a fashion icon, but they put Jill Biden on the cover of these magazines, and Jill Biden ain't that. Dr. Jill Biden, they put her on there, even though she's none of that. They won't put Melania on there, but they put this woman on there. And it looks like Jeff Bezos just made a bunch of phone calls and called in favors. And according to what I heard on Megyn Kelly yesterday, is that they said that the Bezos team, the camp, when they're doing this wedding, they wanted everybody to see this. They wanted to make a big spectacle out of it. They wanted all the news networks and the paparazzi. They wanted everybody to be there. So they were calling around and basically asking for certain people to come to the wedding. I don't believe that there's, and I know Donald Trump's daughter was there, her, and I'm assuming her husband was there as well at this wedding in Italy. And they were calling around. This is what I heard. They were calling around to the Kardashians, and they only wanted Kim and I believe Kris Jenner to come to the wedding. They just wanted those two to come to the wedding. But the Kardashian team said, if you want Kim and Kris to come to the wedding, then you also got to invite all the other girls too. So then all the Kardashian girls were at the wedding, even though I don't think any of these women have any connection to each other except maybe swapping plastic surgeon information. And I think somebody might have got the wrong number because the plastic surgeon for the Kardashians seems to do a very good job. How old is Kris Jenner? Kris Jenner probably doesn't look whatever age she actually is. Anybody know? What is the age of Kris Jenner? Because Lauren Sanchez, when I first saw her pictures, like when they were at did y'all see the inauguration? Kris Jenner is 69 years old. Kris Jenner looks like she's like, I don't know what age does she look like? Maybe 50? I know she was 69. I didn't know she was that old. I thought she was like 50 something. 69 years of age. She doesn't look it because whoever her surgeon is, and maybe Kris Jenner does some things for herself as well. Let's give her a little bit of grace here. She doesn't look like she's damn near 70 years old, which is crazy. But Lauren Sanchez is 55. I didn't think she looked that old when I saw her at the inauguration, and she had her breasts all the way out at the inauguration. I wasn't mad at her having her breasts out at the inauguration, but it was definitely a spectacle, definitely drew attention. Whoever Kris Jenner and the Kardashian family surgeon is, that ain't the same surgeon that did the work on Lauren Sanchez. And or y'all can tell me, any of you know anything about the surgery space, which I don't, this kind of surgery, plastic surgery space, maybe Lauren Sanchez just told the surgeon, I want to go more than what the surgeon maybe recommended. Whatever the surgeon recommended to the Kardashian clan, that surgeon is very knowledgeable and very insightful, and the Kardashian clan was willing to listen. Whatever doctor worked on Lauren Sanchez, he probably told her, listen, if we do this, you need to do this in moderation, because if we do too much, then it's going to look like this 5, 10, 20 years from now. And she said, I don't give a fuck. Do what I'm telling you to do. And he did it, and this is where we are now. I think that's pretty much where it is. Susie's favorite thing said, Kris Jenner looks like she's 75. I don't think so. How many of you think Kris Jenner looks 75? Let's pull up a picture of Kris Jenner. I don't think she looks 75. She looks relatively young to me. Relatively young. I mean, she doesn't look like she's some spring chicken, but this is Kris Jenner. There's a relatively recent photo of Kris Jenner. Now, this is a relatively recent photo. She doesn't look 70. She looks 60 something. She looks at least 10 years younger than she actually is. What do y'all think? How old does Kris Jenner look? I don't know when this picture was taken. Kris Jenner got 1,000 pictures of herself out there. So here's Kris Jenner at Paris Fashion Week 2025. So this was relatively recent. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at guessing ages. I'm not that good at guessing ages. She don't look that old to me. 70? No, I'd say maybe 60. My mom is like 60. My mom's younger than Kris Jenner, but she looks older than Kris Jenner looks. Now, of course, Kris Jenner has probably a ton of makeup on in all of these photos anytime she's being photographed. And she has some really good surgeons, and she's passed those surgeons on. She passed the plug. All right, Kris Jenner passed the plug on to her daughters, all right, and did a good job of that. Andrew said, have you seen her without makeup? No, I haven't. Have you seen her without makeup? Nobody sees these women without makeup. That's the whole point. So Kris Jenner in this picture, I don't know, 70? Does this look 70 to you? This doesn't look 70 to me. Maybe I'm just bad at gauging age. I generally am bad at gauging age of people just off photos, especially females. Very hard to gauge a woman's age by photos, because if the woman knows she's being photographed, she probably makes herself up for the camera, puts on makeup, and a woman who knows how to put on her own makeup can make herself look like whatever she wants you to believe. So I don't know. Don't go off of me. Y'all go off of whatever you know. Like said, don't let your mom hear that. Well, my mom ain't trying to be Kris Jenner, so my mom does look older than Kris Jenner, even though Kris Jenner is older than my mom. But Susie said, we know as women. Okay, I'll give you that. I'm pretty sure you're right, that a woman can better guess another woman's age, even with all the makeup on, than a man can. So they had the money. They had the right to spend it how they want to spend it. And this whole oligarchy pushback, which right now is experiencing another wave of popularity. I understand why people are pushing back on this. So this guy spent X number of millions of dollars on a wedding. He could be solving homeless problems. My response to that is bullshit. Here's why my response is bullshit. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon. We know. We know that he's made a whole lot of money from Amazon. That's also a thing that we know. That's his money. It's not like he's spending public funds. So when Donald Trump goes and golfs, you get people saying, oh, well, Donald Trump's golfing and that's costing taxpayers $2 million or whatever they're claiming that it is. Assuming that that's true, I can understand why you might be mad about that. At the same time, you can't really be mad because all presidents have spent time on a golf course. Maybe Trump golfs a little bit more, but they all do stuff for leisure that the American taxpayer indirectly is paying for. So you can't just target Trump for that. They all do something and it all gets paid for by somebody. But that's public funds because they're the president. And also we voted for the president. So if that's the way they want to live, that's the way they want to live. That ain't your business. It ain't our business. It's nobody's business. If that's what they want to do and they want to go and golf, then let them go golf. Now, as far as Jeff Bezos, that's his money. He made that money running his company. And all of us buy from Amazon. Has anybody here not bought anything from Amazon all year? We're 6 months into the year. Everybody here has made a purchase on Amazon this year? At least one? Okay, so how you going to be mad about Amazon and the guy who owns Amazon having money? I mean, you giving him money. If you bought something from Amazon, you put money in his pocket. You financed that wedding. Right, so Susie said that's our money. Exactly. So if you bought anything from Amazon this year, you financed Jeff Bezos' wedding. So how you mad? If you don't want to finance his wedding, don't buy anything from Amazon. But he owns that company. And again, I'm saying that indirectly, metaphorically, and directionally. But that's his private money. So if he wants to spend it on a wedding in Venice, he can do that. If he wants to do a wedding in Venice every week, he can do it. If that's what he wants to do, as long as he's willing to pay for it. And mind you, keep in mind something, that when he goes and spends $50 million to have a wedding in Venice, well, where's the $50 million going? They had to pay the staff. They had to pay the people who made the dresses. They had to pay the people who were taking the photos. They paid the people who are controlling the yacht that they're riding on. They paid the suit makers. They had to pay the clothing companies. They had to pay the flower company. They paid for the cake. They paid for the champagne. They paid for the DJs. They paid for the singers. All of those are people are who? Everyday workers who need money from their jobs. So again, people saying he could have spent that money on X, Y, Z. He did spend it. And that money went to everyday people who do everyday jobs. They just happen to work in an industry that does events. Those people made money off of that. So y'all should actually be happy. Jeff Bezos just took $50 million out of his private bank account and he put it into the public sector by spending money that goes to everyday people who do jobs that he wanted them to do so he can have a wedding. So again, y'all shouldn't be mad. You should be happy. Right? Shouldn't people be happy about this? If you really think about it, that's where it's going. And some may say, well, he did it in Italy. He didn't do it in America. So, I mean, he still put the money out there. He still put the money out into circulation. Now, if he was holding on to all his money and not spending it on anything and being a miser, just collecting money, then you would have somewhat of an argument. He's just collecting money and not putting it back out into the world. But Jeff Bezos is literally sharing the wealth. He's taking the money that he's made from his business, putting it back out into the marketplace, which allows the dollar to circulate. This is called the economy. And the more the dollars circulate, the more healthy an economy that we have. Because let's just say who's somebody who was working at the wedding. Let's just say there was somebody playing the piano. Now, the person playing the piano is not some rich billionaire. It's just some regular, maybe not a regular person, but a pretty good piano player who had a reputation. They got hired to go play piano at Jeff Bezos' wedding. So he plays the piano. Let's say he got paid. How much do you think he got paid for that? Y'all give me a number. How much do you think the piano player at Jeff Bezos' wedding got paid? If he had a piano player. But we're just using this as an example. How much do y'all think he got paid? Give me a number. Piano player at Jeff Bezos' wedding. How much money? $10,000. Fine. We'll go with $10,000. This guy gets paid $10,000. He takes his 10 grand and he goes and gets his piano tuned. There's a tuning for the piano. So he gets it tuned and he pays $300 to the piano tuner. Now that guy has just made some money. Then he takes from the money he has left, he goes to the grocery store and buys groceries for his family. Now that grocery store owner has some money. Then the guy goes to a suit store or a clothing store and he buys some upgraded wardrobe for himself. Now the suit guy has made some money. Then he goes and buys himself a pair of shoes to go with the suit. Now the shoe salesman has made some money. If you understand what I'm saying here, all Jeff Bezos did was put more money out into the economy, and that money just circulates because the people he paid, they're going to go buy stuff, and then they go buy stuff, and everybody wins in this situation. So Jeff Bezos spending $50 million on his wedding is not just him doing things for himself because, again, he spent the money. The money got spent. The money goes out into the world. Everybody benefits from that money. Get the likes up here, folks, on TikTok. We got to get the likes up. Give me up to 15,000 likes. Now, I don't like having to pull the Kevin Samuels, but I will pull Kevin Samuels on here today. We're at 11,000 likes. This is paltry. Maybe this topic is this is a little bit of a current event, more funny type of topic than the serious things. We got some more serious things we're going to get to as we continue in this week, especially with the Diddy trial. But y'all still got to get the likes up. We're at 12,000. Get me my likes up. All right. So they got the money. They can spend it how they want to spend it. So now I'll just explain to you how they actually helped the economy by spending $50 million. If they did nothing, then that's when you should be mad. They just held on to their money and did nothing. And they went and got married at the courthouse, even though they got a bunch of money. What would people say about that? People would criticize, oh, you got all that money. Why you get married at the courthouse? Why are you using public funds to get married? Why you got a camera in here? People will come up with a criticism for anything if they decide they want to criticize you. But he just put $50 million out into the economy. You should be happy because that money will find its way back to you. Just because you can spend hundreds of millions of dollars doesn't mean you should, which is what some people say. This is why the world is in a bad space. Just because you can spend it doesn't mean you should. I call bullshit on this point simply because you can't tell another person what to do with their money. It doesn't matter how much they have. I don't know. Y'all tell me when does, get the likes up, folks, to get the 15,000 likes before I give you this question. We got to get the 15,000 likes before I give you the question I want to ask. Just tap the screen. For those of you who don't know how to like the live, you just tap the screen. If you tap the screen, there's little hearts that come up on the bottom right corner, like right over here. And at least that's where I see them. I see the likes over here. And then you can see the total count of likes up here. At least that's what I can see. I don't know what y'all see. I see 14.6. Let's get the 15,000, please. And I'm going to give you my question. Okay, 15,000. Thank you. Keep it going, folks. Keep liking the live. My question is, at what point does the amount of money somebody have become the public's? It becomes something that's at the public's discretion to talk about what they're supposed to do with it. At what point do you cross that line? So if you have $1 million and you decide to spend it whatever way you want, does people have an opinion about that? But if you have 10 million, then people are allowed to tell you, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. You got 10 million. Or is it 100 million? Or is it 500 million? Or is it $1 billion? How much money does a person have to have for someone in the general public to say, you should do this with the money instead of that with the money? At what point? What's the line that gets crossed to where people feel like they are allowed to have an opinion about your money? Somebody give me a number. I need a number. This is my question, and I need a number. I need you to answer with a number. At what point, Renting Palm Beach, good to see you. Give me a number of, let's just call it net worth, alleged net worth, because you don't really know somebody's net worth. The internet doesn't know anybody's net worth. But let's just say, what number is it that the public is allowed to tell other people or even offer an opinion about what somebody's supposed to do with their money? All right, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of zeros, but you see people with these comments all the time. They're like, Jeff Bezos has whatever his net worth is supposed to be. Let's just call it $50 billion. I don't know what his net worth actually is, but let's just say it's 50 billion. And he's able to spend that much money on a wedding. Then why is he doing that when he could be using that money for a more positive, let's just say, for lack of a better term, purpose? Is it because he has this much? If he had 25 billion, would you say that? If he had 2 billion, would you say it? If he had 200 million, would you say it? I want to know a number. Nobody's giving me a number. So everybody's saying zero. So the issue here is that there's a whole lot of Americans, I think all of you understand this, who absolutely believe there is a number. They're not in this live stream right now listening to me, but you all understand this. Y'all saw what happened in New York last week, right? In New York, a guy named Zoran Mamdani, he won the Democratic primary. I don't know, does he actually have the nomination? I think that gives him the nomination, I believe, but we know he won the Democratic primary. And in New York, that often means you're about to win the general election in November. And I know that a whole bunch of people in New York, because this guy, Zoran Mamdani, seems to have some ideas that go against a significant portion of people who live in New York. So I think they're going to mobilize to try to go against this guy. But it looks like he might still win. He has some of these views, and he's expressed them very strongly. And speaking of him, and I already mentioned Bernie Sanders, I mentioned AOC. I don't live in New York City. So I don't have to deal with the brunt of whatever this guy may bring if he indeed does win. But a part of me wants to see him win. And this all connects to what I'm talking about here. Part of me wants to see him win and actually try to do all the shit that he says he's going to do. Because I think the easiest way to teach people a lesson is to let them feel it. They got to feel it viscerally. My favorite author, Robert Greene, says sometimes you have to demonstrate rather than explicate. Everybody knows what demonstrate means, right? It means to actually do something instead of talking about it. Explicate means to explain, to talk about things. And you could talk all day about why it's a bad idea to quote unquote tax the rich or tax billionaires, or even this guy, Mamdani. He was being interviewed 2 days ago, and he has in his policy, he's saying that we need to go put higher taxes on whiter communities, white, WHITE. We're going to tax the more white communities so we can create more of a balance. He literally is saying that out of the mouth of his campaign. And then he was on TV. He kind of tried to talk around it with a word salad, but that's really part of his policy. And there's a bunch of people who are on board with this in theory. And everything Bernie Sanders and AOC talks about, and that Biden touched on, Obama as well, and now Mr. Mamdani, that they're talking about. A lot of people get excited about these things, and you can talk all day to them about why these are bad ideas. That doesn't work. That's been tried. It doesn't work. This is a bad idea because this is going to happen and that's going to happen. You can talk all day about that. The bottom line is, until people actually experience why the things you're saying are true, they don't really get the point. And I think New York City might have to be the test ground for this, for everybody to get the point. So I'm sorry, New Yorkers. It looks like y'all going to get this guy. Some of you may be happy about this. Some of you may not, but a part of me wants to see him win, just to see what happens. I don't think this will happen on the federal level yet. At the federal level, there's too many people who would disagree for it to happen. There's a reason why Kamala Harris didn't win. Another reason why she didn't win. There were several, but this is one of the big ones. All this progressive shit sounds good to certain pockets of people, but it doesn't sound good enough for the whole country to go with it. That's why that wasn't going to happen with Kamala. Is why she wouldn't have even won the primary had she had to go through it. That's a different story for a different day. Actually, we already talked about that in the past. I don't think we'll need to talk about it again because she ain't coming back. Not as far as I think. But for New York, I think people need to experience this. So let's go tax the rich and tell the rich what they have to do with their money, or come up with laws to where it appears we can tell the rich what to do with their money. And then let's see how that actually works out. And then we'll see who's talking it. But I think that does need to happen. Anyway, back to what we're talking about here, which is the Jeff Bezos wedding. It's not really about the Jeff Bezos wedding, but a wedding is a personal event. Any of you who's been involved in a wedding or you've had a wedding, it's a personal event. And if someone wants to invite a bunch of celebrities to their wedding, this is their fucking wedding. They can do what they want. Whether those people are their friends or not, doesn't really matter. I mean, did y'all see Kobe Bryant's wedding? Well, no, was it Kobe Bryant's wedding? No, it wasn't Kobe Bryant's wedding. It was the wedding of, whose wedding was it? It was, when Kobe Bryant's teammate, Lamar Odom, got married to Khloe, is it Khloe? Yeah, Khloe Kardashian. You remember that when Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian got married in like a month or like 3 weeks or something crazy like that? There was a bunch of people at that wedding who are probably not friends of Lamar Odom or friends of Khloe Kardashian, but they were at the wedding. Why is this? Because they want to make a spectacle out of it. This is what some of these folks do. Not everybody does this, but some of these folks, this is what they do. Everything they do, they call all the news companies, they call all the magazines, and they want everybody to know about it. They want to make spectacles of themselves. They want it all over the TV. They want it all over the news. They want photos all over social media because they want to keep pushing this idea that they are a celebrity and a star. And all of you need to understand that there's a whole legion of citizens across the world who look up to these people and they pay attention to these people. And when you can get a bunch of people to pay attention to you, you can get a bunch of people to pay you money. This is their business model. Business model of Jeff Bezos. I don't think Jeff Bezos actually needs this. Let me not say Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos actually has made money by creating something of substance. Amazon. Amazon is a thing of substance. And you know it's a thing of substance because all of us give Amazon money. How many of you got an Amazon Prime account? Put Prime if you have Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime. I had Amazon Prime and it was like $50 a year. It's not $50 a year anymore. And how much is Amazon Prime now? Like 120? Last time I renewed, I think they might have monthly now, but I have it yearly. I think it was like 120. How much is Amazon Prime now? Anybody has recently paid your Amazon Prime yearly bill? How much is it? Yeah, it's like around 120 or something. I remember when it was less than 50. It was like $37 or something like that. But every couple of years they keep raising the price. Renting Palm Beach said 150. It probably is 150. They probably about to raise it again. Victoria said you pay monthly or 139, 135. Yeah, something in that range. Something in that 130 to 150 range. So the whole point is all of you know the price. Right, that's the point. All y'all know the price. Yeah, Terrence said that was a minute ago. I got Amazon Prime when it first came out. Whenever that was that it first came out, I had the price. Let's see if we can find out. What is the current yearly price of Amazon Prime, and what have the prices been over the years since its initial inception? How has it increased? And give me the each time it changed the price. So Alexa says $139. So Alexa probably has the actual number because Alexa is run by Amazon. So Alexa will tell you the truth. Probably better than what I'm about to give you. So it started. Okay, so no, it was never $39. I have bad memory, at least when it comes to this. So in 2005, Amazon Prime came out. It was $79, and it was 2-day shipping. That's all it was. Pay $79 a year, you get 2-day shipping. Because shipping, I hate paying shipping anytime I order something. I just ordered something this morning from Nordstrom, and the shipping is free. I don't like paying shipping. Nobody likes paying shipping unless the product is free. We offer books free plus shipping. Some of my books, you can get them for free. You just pay the shipping. But people don't like to pay for the product and the shipping. So free shipping is a good way to get people to buy your stuff. So from 2005 to 2014, it was $79. Then in 2014, they raised the price to $99. And with that increase in price, now you get Amazon Prime Video, which I watched a few videos on Amazon Prime Video. The problem is they ain't really got much. And y'all watch Amazon Prime Video, they don't really have a lot. But I watched a couple things on there. Then they added Amazon Music, which I don't care about because Spotify and Apple Music got everything they got. So who cares? And Amazon Photos, also another thing that I pay for, but I don't use because who cares? Any of you use any of this shit? I don't use any of this. Then, so that was $99 until 2018. In 2018, they raised the price to $119 a year. And that introduced Amazon Fresh, expanded same-day delivery. I have used Amazon Fresh. Now, I don't even always understand the difference between Amazon Fresh and just ordering from Whole Foods. But I was in Las Vegas a couple months ago, and I needed some groceries. I eat like fruits and not vegetables, but fruits and like snack stuff that you can't get at a hotel. At the hotel, they only got those little convenience shops that sell a bunch of junk food for like $6, and I wasn't eating that shit. So I needed some fruit. I needed some like bananas, apples, that kind of stuff. So I ordered Amazon. I thought I was ordering Whole Foods. It was actually Amazon Fresh. I guess that comes out of a warehouse or some shit. So I ordered Amazon Fresh, and they delivered it to the hotel and all that. So that was Amazon Fresh. That got added in, and they expanded the delivery. This was in 2018. Amazon expanded delivery to where you can get deliveries on the same day. Any of you ever ordered something from Amazon and got the product the same day? I don't think I ever got a same day delivery. I've gotten a bunch of early the next morning deliveries. I can't remember getting the same day delivery, but they expanded to same day delivery with certain things. Okay, so a bunch of you have done that. Okay, that was in 2018. Then in 2022, now mind you, that price of 2018 went to $119 a year. So we started at $80. Now we're at $120. Then in April of 2022, 3 years ago, they increased the price again to $139. So they just keep adding $20. So they just slowly just add these little $20. And they also, in 2022, they added the monthly option at $14.99. So you could pay $14.99 a month and pay monthly for Prime. And before that, it was just yearly. Now the yearly is $139. And now they added content and delivery enhancements. I don't even know what that means. I don't know anything about either of those. But I am paying $139. Now, according to present, there's a potential hike in 2026, which is only 6 months away, by the way. They might raise the price again. That they might add another $20, but is not yet confirmed. But about every 4 years, they raise the price. So they raised the price in 2014, 2018, 2022, and 4 years from then, 2026. So Amazon raising its prices is going to be similar to Apple putting out a phone. All right, it's coming. So looks like any of you with Amazon Prime, including myself, they're about to raise the price on us. They're about to raise the price again to $159 a year. If they raise the price to $159, would you still pay? Yes or no? If you already have Amazon, put yes if you'll keep paying $159 if they raise the price, and put no if you would cancel if they raise the price. And Vivian said you got to purchase $25 worth of stuff to get same day. Okay, maybe that's why. Someone said pause it. Everybody else said yes. Well, you see, there you go. So all of you would keep paying for it even if they raise the price. So actually, I shouldn't even be asking this. Amazon's probably watching this right now. Like, shit, we leaving $20 on the table. All these people, we need to raise the price right now. Shit, everybody would keep paying. We leaving money on the table. So, and renting said $2.99 for same. I have seen that. I have seen the $2.99 for same day. If I really need something, then I will pay the $2.99 to get it at least the next day. One day I needed some tie clips because I had a clip and I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was walking my son. This is before he was as big as he is. And I was holding him and he grabbed my tie and the clip fell off. I didn't notice it. Then I tried to go back and find it. And I couldn't find it. I didn't have any more. And Amazon has some good clips that I was able to get the next day. So they just keep adding the price. They keep adding to the price on Amazon. I'm bringing all that up to say, you might not like the Kardashians because they have built their brand, and Lauren Sanchez, they built their brand on plastic. But Jeff Bezos built his brand on actual substance, and all of you just confirmed it. You would keep paying even if you raise the price because Amazon actually does provide a real service that people really want and that we really enjoy. Now, some are saying it looks like these people don't have any real friends. Just a bunch of famous people who showed up for optics. I think this is true. Now, actually, not the whole thing. I don't know if they have real friends. I don't know if Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez have real friends. They probably do. And if you really think about it, real friends, let me ask the people in the audience, how many real friends do you have? If you really just said real friends, how many do you have? I would say the average person doesn't have more than 10 real friends. Most people is somewhere around 5. How many real friends do you have? Like real friends? Like an actual number. I'd say most people is around 5. You count them on your hands. I don't know too many people who have more than 10 real friends. You might know a lot of people, but I know a whole lot of people. But how many do I consider to be real friends? Yeah, I can count them on my hands. I wouldn't need more than my 2 hands. So again, most of you, I haven't seen a number bigger than 6. I see 1, my mother. Judy said 10 or less. Most people don't have double digits real friends. So people saying it looks like Jeff and Lauren don't have real friends. I think they do have real friends. Their real friends didn't get their pictures taken at this fucking wedding because nobody knows who they are. All right, they are just everyday people that Jeff has known since back in the day and Lauren has known since back in the day. They didn't get photographed. Nobody knows their name and nobody cares about them and it's not on Instagram because they're not known because everybody's telling them to move out the way because we're trying to get a picture of Kim Kardashian or get a picture of who else was there. What's that actor's name? Brad Pitt was there. And there's a bunch of other celebrities there. Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey, who's trying to get a picture of Jeff Bezos' high school hockey teammate when Oprah Winfrey is standing right next to him. Like, get out the way, nobody, man. We're trying to get a picture of Oprah, all right, while you're at your friend's wedding. So I believe they do have real friends, but real friends, not that many people. You can't fill an event with just your real friends. If you are having an event with just your real friends, you can just call them to your fucking living room and y'all can just sit on the couches because that's how many people it is. So to say that they don't have real friends just because they invited a bunch of celebrities is a false point because most people don't have that many real friends to fill up an entire event. You got to eventually bring in some people that ain't really your real friends if you want to have a spectacle of an event. And in my experience, a wedding is much more about the woman than it is about the man. Now, the man may be paying for the wedding, but the wedding, the event itself is much more about the woman than it is about the man. The man does not need that. All right. How many of you men out there, if you have had a wedding or you plan on having a wedding in the future, do you even need a wedding? Put men in the chat. If you actually would need, or if you have been married already, you had a wedding, did you really need the wedding? Put yes if you need it or would need a wedding, and put no if you really don't need a wedding. As a man, men don't need weddings. The wedding are for the women. Yeah, see all the men saying no. Men don't need weddings. The wedding's for the woman. So all this shit that y'all just saw is for the woman. All this is for Lauren Sanchez. She allegedly is friends with the Kardashians. I don't know, again, very loose definition of friends. They know each other and they're cool. And since now, first of all, the Kardashians are super famous. So to be friends, quote unquote, with the Kardashians gives you access to people that you otherwise may not have access to. And now that Lauren Sanchez is married to one of the richest men in the world, being friends with Lauren Sanchez now comes with there's some benefit to being friends with her because now she's married to somebody. So if I was in the Hollywood space, shit, I might want to be friends with Lauren Sanchez. Why? Because she's connected to a man with a whole lot of power and a whole lot of access. This is the game. Any of you ever get into the entertainment space, this is the way people play. And any of you live in LA, we got any Los Angeles people here, Southern California folks. Any of you ever lived in LA or been in that scene? From what I've heard, and I know a lot of people who've been in that scene, they say that everything is superficial. They don't really care about you as a person. They just care about what you could do for them or how much they want to make an impression on you about who they are. Is this true or not? So I see some women saying, I didn't care for the wedding, and a bunch of men saying, no, that you didn't need the wedding. So in the LA Hollywood scene, it's really just about who knows who and putting an impression on people that you're somebody and having connections with people who are somebody, because then you may be able to use them for something and they could use you for something. That's the whole game. This is the game that these folks play. And Lauren Sanchez, it appears from the things that I've read and heard about her, and these things are not necessarily flattering, is that she's just been trying to climb the social ladder. And one way to climb the social ladder really quickly is to marry a man with billions of dollars to his name. That's a pretty good way to climb the social ladder. She didn't climb the ladder. She took the fucking elevator. Is what she just did. Actually, she didn't climb the ladder. She took the elevator. Now she's an adult woman. She can make her own decision by her own body. We know this. I think she's the one making the decisions. I hope somebody else didn't make these decisions for her, because if they did, she need to go beat them up or send Jeff Bezos to beat him up. Jeff Bezos and his muscles to go beat this man up, whoever it was that did it. But hopefully she did it. But the amount of visible plastic surgery has made her into a meme and a spectacle, and some people say it makes it hard to take her seriously. I say, what reason were you taking her seriously before? She didn't do anything. So how are you taking her seriously? Seriously about what? The only thing I can take seriously about her is those boobs are out. At the inauguration, those things were out. I had never even heard of this woman before the inauguration, but when those inauguration pictures came out, I said, damn, holy boobs. The first thing I saw when she got shown was like, I was looking at her breasts. I didn't even notice her face. So you couldn't even ask me what she looked like. If somebody said, hey, what that woman looked like who was with Jeff Bezos, I couldn't tell you. I could tell you what her breasts looked like because that's the only thing that I saw. And hey, that's what I saw. Now, here's a before and after picture of Lauren Sanchez. And a lot of women are basically trashing her. So this is Lauren Sanchez. This is a before and after. I don't know when this before picture was taken, but in this before picture, she looks like so she's 55 years old now. In this before picture, she looks like about 50. I don't know when this picture was taken. And then on the picture on the right, she's only 55 now. So I don't know how much time passed between these two photos. But as you can see, well, first of all, the breasts you notice. I mean, her breasts look pretty healthy in the first picture. It doesn't look like they were fake breasts in. I mean, she got them. I mean, they're there. And then the second picture, yeah, when you start doing too much to your face and your mouth starts to look like it's not real, and when you smile, your face doesn't move. See, that's when you did too much. You don't want to do this. And by the way, any of you want to see this in action, all you need to do is go to LA or New York or Miami in the right areas, or anywhere in South Florida, actually, not just Miami. West Palm Beach is a good area to see this. Miami Beach, the northern part of Miami Beach is a good place to see this. Sometimes in the downtown area, but the women there are relatively younger. This kind of stuff usually happens when a woman gets older. You usually don't see this in a woman who's 30. Now, she might have it, but it doesn't look like this till she gets to her 50s. Now, this is what happens when you get to your 50s and you did too much in your 30s. All right, that's what that looks like. I ain't even personally dissing her, but that's just what it looks like. Anyway, let me see if I can find another picture of her. So here's another picture of Lauren Sanchez. And again, the first thing you notice are those breasts. And shit, you pay for them, you better use them. I mean, that's the reason you got them, right? You paid for it, you better use it. All right, so she got them, and those things are attention drawing. So Jeff Bezos, I guess what most people would say is Jeff Bezos is a breasts guy. Would y'all agree? Give me a yes or a no. Y'all think Jeff Bezos is a breast guy? Is Jeff Bezos a breast guy? Yes or no? Answers in the comments. Nikki said, all natural, and I'm 52, no plastic surgery for me. Generally, that's what I prefer. One with no plastic surgery. Now, I've dated some women who did have plastic surgery, but they didn't overdo it. At least it didn't look like they overdid it when I knew them. Now, what they look like 5, 10, 20 years later is a different story. But when I knew them, I knew they had the work done, but it didn't look crazy. So personally, I don't like when a woman has a surgery and it looks crazy. It can't look crazy. Even down here in Miami, there's a lot of ass jobs in Miami. If you get an ass job, that's what you want to do it. Just don't have it look like you got an ass job. So your ass job should be looking like people should be looking at your ass trying to figure out, is that work or is it real? See, if I can automatically tell just by glancing at you that it's surgery, you did too much. That's my litmus test for any type of surgery. If you're a woman, that's my litmus test. Okay. And your doctor should be telling you this. I don't know what plastic surgeons tell their patients when they're sitting having a consultation, but they should tell them, all right, what are we doing here, miss? Okay. All right. Do you want to be doing, porn films, or do you want to just walk around everyday life and have people think you have a great body? Because if it's option B, you want people to think you have a great body, then we can't overdo it. It should look natural. And if something's going to look natural, it can't be disproportionate to the rest of your fucking body. All right, ladies, please write this down and pass it on to your friends. I'm saying this as a heterosexual man who spent time in a lot of big cities. I live in Miami, Florida. I see this stuff all the time. it should be proportionate to your body to where I would have to guess, or I'm not even thinking about if it's surgery or not. So someone in here earlier in the comments said women can always tell. Now, see, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. So I don't think my radar is not up looking for this stuff. So when I'm walking down the street and I see a woman whose body looks good, I just say her body looks good. In my subconscious mind, her body looks good. I'm not thinking, is that surgery or is it not? But if I look at you and I immediately know that it's surgery without even having to think about it, you did too much. You overdid it. Don't do this. Especially don't do it with your ass, because then it looks silly. I've seen way too many overdone asses in South Florida. It used to be back in the day. When I say back in the day, let's say from like anytime before 2015. From 2000 up to 2015, most of the overdone surgery was the lips, the Botox in the face, in the cheeks, and the head, forehead, and the breasts. Those would be the overdone thing. Now all of a sudden, now you got women overdoing their asses. This has become the new trend is overdoing your ass. It used to just be overdoing the breasts, to where the breasts, and not even overdoing the breasts, because a woman has nice breasts, you got nice breasts. But if you can't be super duper skinny and then have your breasts be too big, because then it doesn't look right. And again, you don't want it to be obvious. It can't be obvious. It has the flow. All right, it got a flow. It has to be passable. If you understand what I'm saying, the men in here understand what I'm saying. But when your ass is disproportionate, it just doesn't look right, because your ass should be proportionate to your thighs. So you can't have skinny thighs and then your ass is super big. Then you got your ass is like you can't even walk straight. Right? What are you doing? You didn't get that by doing squats. Cut it out. Did y'all see that picture of Drake on social media the other day where he's showing off his abs? I guess that's what he's doing. But then he don't have any muscles other than that. Did y'all see this picture? Let me see if I can find this picture. Did y'all see this picture of Drake with no muscles? he got muscles but no muscles at the same time. Did y'all see this? So Drake posted caption, "I'm wide awake for the nights to separate the type who get to it till they get it right from the type who just type." I guess that's a line from one of his songs. I don't know who he's quoting. But this is a picture of Drake. Here's Drake right here. I guess this is him. Most people have verified that this is Drake. So he's taking a selfie in the mirror. Okay, that's usual. But you see his abs are like very well defined. His abs look like somebody who's in the gym all the time lifting. Like I've seen dudes in the gym whose abs look like that. But the thing is, when their abs look like that, their shoulders and their biceps and their chest and their forearms and their neck. Drake, these muscles right here that connect the shoulders to the neck, those are called the traps. Drake has no traps. There's no muscle definition in his forearms, which means he's not lifting any weights with his hands. Because when you lift weights with your hands, even if you're doing biceps, the forearm muscles have to work. So your forearms get ripped up. He has no muscles in his forearms. If you look at his shoulder here, his right shoulder, there's no muscle definition in his right shoulder. If you look at his pecs, he looks like oncoming man boobs. If he stays on this trajectory, in about 8 years, he's gonna have man boobs. You see his breasts. You see it's kind of like jiggly there on his on his pectoral muscles on the right hand side. But then he got these ripped abs. Like, how is that possible? How you have ripped abs and no muscles nowhere else? All right, this is when people are playing around. All right, people out here playing around. I don't know what Drake is doing, but this is not real. That's not natural. I don't know how he got that, but that ain't real. All right, this is what happens when you're out here playing around. Now, here's why this is an issue. If Drake's doing it, there's one thing with women doing it. Women doing this has always been a thing. Again, go to New York City, go to Manhattan, go to like Upper East Side Manhattan, go to Miami or surrounding South Florida areas, especially. Actually, don't go to South Florida. Go to West Palm Beach. Because actually, you want to see this, go to West Palm Beach. Go to West Palm Beach, and this is where you see women who are over the age of 45, often married or recently divorced, and they're trying to bounce back. That's where you see a whole lot of this Lauren Sanchez-ish shit. And then you go to a place like LA. And this has always happened with women. But now Drake is showing that maybe men are starting to get into this game. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't know if this is real or not. So Nikki said it might be AI. I hope it's AI. I hope. Tony said only doing sit-ups. I don't even know if that's possible, Tony. If he was only doing sit-ups, I get that just targets the abs, but how do you get all the fat to go away from his stomach to show the abs? Because understand, ab muscles exist for everybody. the abs show because you got rid of the fat. That's how you get your abs to show, not by putting muscle on the abs, but by simply removing the fat. So if you remove the body fat from your body, your abs will show. Every person who's listening to this, that's how it works. So how did he lose enough fat to show his abs, but he didn't lose enough fat? He didn't lose any fat on his arms, on his shoulders, or his chest. How did he lose fat in one spot? You can't do that. That's not possible. So that's why Nikki said it's AI. It has to be AI. Hopefully that's an AI photo, or Drake was just playing around trolling the world and got everybody talking about it, because it doesn't add up logically for his body to look like that. It's not possible for a man to make his body look like that. XTR said liposuction. Again, why would you lipo just your abs? He should have did his shoulders and his chest and his biceps at the same time, because he got fat all over his body except this one spot. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, what I was saying, let's get back to talking about the anatomy of a female. All right, no Diddy. I don't want to talk about men's bodies, but let's talk about female anatomy, which I will gladly talk about. That if a woman has a nicely defined ass, that means her thighs are going to be nicely defined too, because you can't work your ass without working your thighs. It's not possible. All right, if you are doing exercises in the gym, I've worked in many gyms. I've been a personal trainer. I am a professional athlete in my background. I still go to the gym every single day. You can't get a well-defined ass as a female without also working the thigh muscles. You have to work the thigh muscles, the hamstrings and the quads. The quads are the muscles in the front of the leg. Hamstrings are the muscles in the back of the leg. To work the glutes, you have to work those too, which means if your ass gets well-defined, then your thighs are also going to be well-defined. So you can't have these skinny-ass thighs with no muscles and then have this big butt. That doesn't make sense. That's not possible. If it looks like that, you did too much. Smack the surgeon, not because they did it to you, because you let them do it, but smack the surgeon for not stopping you from doing it before it happened. You need to file a lawsuit against the surgeon who did that, because the surgeon has he took a Hippocratic oath to do no harm. So he violated his oath by allowing you to get that done, because that was not supposed to happen. If you allowed the surgeon to do that to you, that's not supposed to occur. So some say this relationship feels performative, it's curated, staged, and it lacks authenticity. It probably does, but if that's what they want to do. Again, Lauren Sanchez she has access to money. If they get divorced, I guarantee you she's getting a payout. And Jeff Bezos gets what he wants. I don't know what she's offering, but whatever it is worth him marrying her. So, hey, everybody's winning in this situation. He's spreading out the wealth. And listen, with the way she looks right now and the photos that I've seen, I think Lauren Sanchez will probably visit the surgeon again at some point in her life. Let's say she lives till she's 95. That means she got another 40 years to live. Do you believe? Give me a yes or no in the comments. Do you believe? Yes or no in the comments. Please like the live, folks. We're at 29,000 likes to get to 40,000. Do you believe Lauren Sanchez will visit the surgeon again sometime in the next 40 years? Give me a yes or a no. Do you think Lauren Sanchez will ever go to the surgeon ever again in her life in the next 40 years? She's 55, so we're just assuming she lives to 95. And I'm going to tell y'all why this is a good thing for everybody. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you why this is good. Let's get the likes up, folks. Get the likes up. Sasha Sims, I see you over there on Instagram. Get the likes up, folks. Get the likes up, likes up, likes up. So everybody says, absolutely. Marky Man said tomorrow. Yeah. XTR says she'll be a frequent flyer. Exactly. Now, why is this a good thing? Why does this matter to all of us? Because she has now access to Jeff Bezos' money, which means if she wants to go to the surgeon while she is married to him, then he doesn't care about the price because he can afford pretty much anything. He will pay whatever she wants to have paid in order to get more work done, which means what? Let's say she goes to the surgeon charges her $50,000 for some work, whatever she wants to get worked on. Who knows what it's going to be? That surgeon just made 50 grand. What's he going to do with the money? Well, he's going to pay his rent at his building. He's going to pay for new surgical equipment. He's going to pay his staff. They get paid. He's going to go and buy some groceries from the grocery store. He's going to go and buy some shoes for himself. He's going to go to the movies and watch a movie. He's going to go to, I don't know where he's going to go. Whatever he does for fun. He's going to pay for his gym membership. He's going to do all the things that he needs to do. He's going to go pay his staff who runs his Instagram account. Everybody makes money off of Lauren Sanchez going back to the surgeon because now Jeff Bezos has a reason to spend money that he otherwise wouldn't spend. He ain't spending money on his own surgery. He can spend money on his wife's surgery. So y'all should actually hope that Jeff Bezos stays married to Lauren Sanchez, or if he dumps the bitch, he gets a new chick that also wants surgery so that he keeps giving his money to surgery, because the more money Jeff Bezos gives to surgery, the more money gets circulated in the economy. So actually, Jeff Bezos getting married is helping the economy, not hurting it. So Jeff Bezos, make sure you heard that part of everything that we're talking about here. I'm giving you credit. All right, you are actually stimulating the economy by marrying a woman who clearly takes frequent trips to the surgeon because now it's coming out of your pocket. I don't know who paid for her other surgeries, but he's paying for this one. And he got more money than whoever she was married to before. Jeff Bezos probably has more money, unless she was married to Elon Musk or Bill Gates before that. Oh, yeah, Bill Gates was at the wedding too. So he is paying for this. He is actually going to be stimulating the economy. Thomas said Bezos married way down. Well, hey, all we thinking about here is the economy. I don't care who he marries. I don't care who Jeff Bezos marries. I don't care what he does in his bedroom. All right, no Diddy. But I do care if he is putting more money into the economy because he clearly has a lot of it. So Bernie Sanders needs to understand it. Somebody get the message out to Bernie. Somebody get Bernie on the phone or get AOC on the phone and let them know, and get Zoran Mamdani on the phone and let them know that if they want billionaires to pay a tax, the best way to get a billionaire to pay a tax is let them marry a woman who has to go to the plastic surgeon, because that's the tax. Every time he pays for the woman to get more surgery, he's getting taxed. That's the tax. The way to tax billionaires is to get them to marry a woman who likes the plastic surgeon and let her keep getting more surgery. I just solved this whole problem of the oligarchy. Get Bernie Sanders on the phone ASAP. I need to talk to him. Somebody get Bernie on the phone. I just figured it out. This is how we end the oligarchy. And now what we need to do on top of this is you need to let people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is already doing this, as a matter of fact. Is just to impregnate a whole bunch of different women, and either impregnate or marry a bunch of different women. This is how we solve the oligarchy. And I just came up with this while we're talking. Is that you get the whatever you consider to be the oligarchy. Let's say the Elon Musk of the world, the Jeff Bezoses, who else is noted to have a whole bunch of money? Bill Gates. Let's just say those three guys, right? Yes, exactly. Thomas, you're getting it. This is what I'm saying. So you you do both. You allow them, not allow them, but encourage them to impregnate as many women as possible and then be financially responsible for those women and the kids. Now they got to spend money and or allow them to marry multiple women. They should probably do both. What if Elon Musk, how many baby moms Elon Musk got? Like 10? Let's say Elon Musk got 10 baby moms. What if he was married to all 10 women? And he's financially responsible for all 10, and he is financially responsible for all the kids that come from each one of those women. Now, all the money that Elon has, instead of him just hoarding the money like Scrooge McDuck, now he's giving the money to the women. The women do not have the substance that Elon has. They didn't build anything of substance to get money. All they did was open their legs and have sex with Elon Musk. So they're going to take that money and do what? They're going to spread it around the economy because they're going to go spend it on some nonsense. Not like Elon. Elon's going to spend his money on things that actually build stuff, which is still good stuff. The women are going to spend it on nonsense. So that money, if you want to get Elon Musk's money out of Elon's account, all you actually need to do is send women his way, let him impregnate them and or marry them, and now the money gets back out into the economy. Same thing with Jeff Bezos, same thing with Bill Gates and any other name you want to throw in there. This is how we fight the oligarchy. Again, somebody get Bernie on the phone. I got a solution for Bernie. I need to join Bernie on his Fight the Oligarchy tour. Let's see if that Fight the Oligarchy tour is still going on. Maybe I can join a few dates. Fight the Oligarchy tour. Let's see if this is still going on. So this is on his official website, by the way, Fighting the Oligarchy. His last one that's on his website was in McAllen, Texas on June the 20th. So that was 10 days ago. So I guess the tour is over. No, I'm wrong. It's not over. They just didn't update the website. So they're going to Shreveport on the 21st. That happened. Tulsa, Amarillo, Fort Worth. Bernie's out here hustling. Okay, I guess that's the end of the tour. I guess the tour ended last week because that was the last date. And then they're showing the previous one. So he started in May. So for 2 months, Bernie was on tour. So Bernie is like Drake. He's out here touring. No, this is going on since April. Excuse me. I got this wrong. Bernie toured April, May, and June, and his first stop was in late March. So March to April, April to May, May to June. Actually, 3 months. Bernie did a 3-month tour. Bernie's like 80-something years old. This is I have to say this is impressive. Right? A 3-month tour for somebody who's 80-something years old. And his last stop was in Texas. So I need to, next time Bernie does a tour, I guess he needs to send AOC out on the next tour. I don't know why he's still out there doing it. He needs to send his daughter AOC out there and let her do the next tour. But anyway, let's continue. People projecting their issues onto Jeff Bezos, like this money thing. I already solved that problem. Now, was the entire thing, it looked visually stunning? Yes, it did. Again, this is all part of the show. This is what celebrities do. They show you all the things that they're doing, these great things they're doing, because it leads to aspiration, and aspiration is what gets people to watch, buy, follow, et cetera, et cetera. Did it feel like a movie? Yes. Is Jeff Bezos responsible for solving world hunger because he has money? No, he's not. And you can admire the ambition and scale of it. It takes vision to come up with something like this. I guess if they hired a good wedding planner. Oh yeah, the wedding planner made a ton of money. How much do you think the wedding planner charged to plan this wedding? If you know anything about the wedding industry, how much do y'all think Jeff Bezos's, probably Lauren Sanchez's wedding planner got paid to do the job of putting this wedding together? Mind you, it's a destination wedding because they both live in America, but the wedding was in Italy. How much do you think she got paid? Emrit said, am I defending a billionaire? Not necessarily defending him. What I'm doing is solving a big problem. I'm solving a problem with an oligarchy. And it's not really necessarily about me defending him. It's about me objectively looking at the situation and saying, here's what makes sense. It's not about defending him or attacking him. I'm not doing either one. Glenn said he better get a prenup. I guarantee you he has a prenup. Glenn, we ain't got to worry about that. Jeff Bezos is no dummy. Again, he's a person of substance. He gave away a quarter of his company on his first divorce. I doubt he's going to make that same mistake twice. Thomas said 100,000. Nikki said 400 million. That's a little bit too much. 400 million to the wedding planner? That's too much money. Dr. Mudd said 20 million to the wedding planner? No, that's too much. Not 20 million. That wedding planner, let's see if we can get an estimate of how much a wedding planner would get paid for something like this. Give me a ballpark estimate of how much a wedding planner would get paid for putting on and organizing a wedding like Jeff Bezos's. My guess, folks, before I even get this number, and again, this is just a ballpark number. We don't know the actual number. Maybe we'll find out. I'm guessing around about 250,000. 250,000 sounds about right. And this is assuming, again, a wedding planner doesn't do everything on their own. They get the money, and then they go hire their own people to help them do it. So it might be 250,000 as a payment, and then maybe they had a budget to go play around with of another $1 million or so to go get all the stuff. But I'm guessing about 250K. So for a wedding like Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, lavish estate in Italy, high-profile celebrities, ballpark estimate says between 250,000 and 2 million. So again, it depends. I think most of that is play money. So how wedding planners charge? So a percentage of the budget. So they ask for a percentage of the budget. So if your wedding costs 50 million, then they want a percentage somewhere between 10 and 20%. So if it's a $5 million wedding, they want 500,000. Okay, so that's a little bit more than I thought. Then they have a flat fee if it's ultra high net worth, which is this thing like Jeff Bezos is probably a flat fee wedding. So they say for extreme events, a planner will charge a flat fee of $1 million. Okay, so $1 million. I think I undershot that. And actually, that makes more sense. $1 million flat fee sounds right. And then there's probably a custom contract. I'm pretty sure there's a custom contract. So celebrity planners like Colin Cowie, never heard of, or Mindy Weiss, I've never heard of these people. They are well known as celebrity wedding planners. They are known to command $500,000 plus fees for weddings. And again, they bring in other people, and those other people got to get paid too. So he probably had $1 million. Jeff Bezos probably put $1 million on his wedding. That makes sense. This reinforces the elite circle illusion. And Vivian said 10% about what I said. Okay, well, they said his wedding was 50 million. So the wedding planner probably got 5. So that's a lot. So this elite circle illusion, already talked about that. Michelle, thank you for the heart. Maybe they just wanted to enjoy the moment no matter what the public thinks. That I agree with. And the public's going to trash it. We know. All right, all that being said, let's get into the comments here. We'll do about 15 minutes of comments, folks, and then we'll wrap this one up. This one was a little bit more for fun here today. Did y'all hear about this DOJ, that they found this big healthcare scam the other day? Did y'all see this? It got announced yesterday. I saw Dan Bongino talking about it, and the DOJ actually did a big press conference. Did y'all see that healthcare fraud investigation that got uncovered yesterday that they were announcing? I might talk about that tomorrow. I don't know how much of a stomach y'all have for that type of topic, but I may talk about that tomorrow. Let's see what we got. 39,000 likes, folks. Can we get up to 50K before we wrap this live up? Can we at least get 50K? So a bunch of y'all are Amazon Prime customers. I will stay a Prime customer. You can use Amazon Prime as a tax write-off, depending on how you use it. Those of you who are entrepreneurs or you got a side business, structure it so it can be a tax write-off. Give as little money to the government in taxes as possible is my thought. So fuck that fair share shit. All right, classic movie said it's not taxing the rich, but how the government spend the money they collect. Legion said feels like 30 a week. LOL. 30 a week for fees or 30 a week that you spend. Terry, thank you for the gift, whatever that was. Terrence said back when it was worth the money. It depends on how much you use it. It does depend on how much you use Amazon. In my experience, women order from Amazon a lot more than men. Amazon packages outside my door every day. Terrence said, video and shipping is about all I've ever used. I never used the video, but Amazon does have some stuff that nobody else has in terms of video. The music I never used and the photos I never used. Courtney says, same day here a lot, LOL. Okay, I don't think I ever got a same day. I think maybe once ever, and I had to pay the $2.99. Vivian says, same day is 25. Okay, 25 minimum, fine. F315 said, Amazon's a good deal. My wife uses it all the time. Uber delivery is rip-off, and I don't mess with Uber that much. And yeah, just like you said, your wife uses it all the time. In my experience, women tend to use Amazon a ton. So if you have a woman in your life or you are a woman, Amazon is probably worth it. Save you on the shipping alone, you're making money actually on the deal. If you just, let's just say you paid $4.99 for every shipment. That means if it's $139 a year, $5 a shipment, was that 20 shipments would be $100, another 8 shipments. So if you order 30 times, you already made your money back. So if you place 30 orders a year on Amazon, you make your money back by paying for Prime, assuming $4.99 shipping. Classic said Amazon has some live TV. You're getting into that game right now. I think Amazon's trying to get. They have an NFL game, right? Doesn't Amazon do one NFL game a week or something like that? I think they're trying to get into the NBA too. I don't think they're there yet, but they're going to get there. Taryn said, LMAO, thanks. My area doesn't do Amazon Fresh. I checked. Yeah, it depends on where you live. They're trying to expand it so they can reach more people because they're basically trying to compete with the grocery stores. That's what they're doing. I mean, Amazon literally owns Whole Foods. So Cindy said, I would keep paying. I hate to go out shopping. I understand, Cindy. Personally, I sometimes like going to the grocery store because I like being outside amongst people. I like being amongst the people. So even though I'm on the computer in my office a lot, I also like going outside and just seeing people and people seeing me. I enjoy that. So I will use the delivery sometimes, but sometimes I'll actually go to the store. Vivian said 2 real and 10 acquaintances. You probably got more acquaintances than 10. You probably got 1,000 acquaintances, but real friends usually less than 5. Oh yeah, Tom Brady was at the wedding. Is Tom Brady married again? No, he's not. I think who else was there? Was that actress? The actress with the big breasts, the white chick. HKK said, why is everybody talking about this? Well, you kind of answered your own question. Everybody's talking about it because everybody's talking about it. That's kind of how it works in entertainment. HKK. If you get people talking about you, then everybody else talks about you, and nobody even remembers why we start talking about you in the first place. You want to see a live example of this? Look at the Kardashians. Why do we talk about them? What have they actually done? The answer is nothing, but everybody's talking about them. So that's how it is. Mootsie said, I was surprised Ivanka was there. I'm not. Ivanka's connected to money, and Jeff Bezos got money. So anybody who's connected to money, I can understand why they might be at this wedding. And Jeff Bezos has access to a lot of fucking money. If Jeff Bezos had invited me to the wedding, I would have went. How many of you wouldn't have gone? I would have went. If you had invited me, I would have went. Because look, there's a whole bunch of people I could have met. And I get to be in the pictures, and I get to say I was there, and I can name drop and shit. I would go to that wedding. I don't have to know nobody. I'll buy them a nice gift too. So Papa said, when is someone even your real friend? Well, I think you had to decide that. Lies, soul, I'm a woman. I didn't care for the wedding. And all the men said no. See, weddings are not for men. Weddings are for women. If it's for anybody, it's for the women. Marky said, dated for 10 years. Then he said, my son lives in Hollywood and says that. Hollywood, California? Yeah, what I've heard about Hollywood, California is that it's extremely superficial. Everybody's either just trying to show you that there's somebody or they're trying to find out if you're somebody. And if they find out you're nobody, they want nothing to do with you. He says it's all about who you know. I mean, in all business it is, but I've heard in the Hollywood area of California, it's to the extreme. That's what I've heard. Carla, Indiana, good morning. Vivian said Miami is full of that. Oh, yes, it is. Now, Miami tends to trend younger. So if you want to see the young version of the women before they go to the surgeon or when they go to the surgeon tastefully, it's in Miami. Now, you want to see the women after the surgery to where the surgery starts to show, then you drive a little bit north. Go to Palm Beach County. That's where you see everything else. Vivian said he wanted a trophy wife. Yes, it looks like it. I mean, the way she presents herself is as a trophy. And I doubt she's doing news network work anymore after this. So is she a trophy wife? Yes, she is. Joe said bigger isn't necessarily better. Joe, I agree with you, but some men seem to disagree. Again, walk around LA, Vegas, or West Palm Beach, and you'll see these women are they either taken or they're trying to get taken. All right, so you walk around South Florida, trust me, somebody's going for it, and everybody notices. Gemini said, "I'm even scared to use anything to lose weight, like Ozempic or weight loss pills. No, don't do that." Gemini, I don't know how much weight you're trying to lose, but what you need to do is not anything that would scare you. If you want to lose weight, nothing should scare you. Go to the gym, hire a personal trainer, and do what they say. I just solved your problem. No Ozempic, no cheating. Don't cheat. Cheating eventually comes back around to everybody. Be very careful with the cheating on the body. Don't do that. Dallas Star says some people like to look ridiculous. Well, I don't think they think it's ridiculous. I don't think they think that. Thomas Kane said, look what they chose to do with their freedom. Yes, they're free to do it. Pampa Lanyette said, my favorite live on TikTok. Appreciate it. Let's get the likes up to 50,000, folks, please. Can we get 50,000 likes? Pampa said, do you know that lots of women say it's men's fault that they redo their chicks? What do you mean their chicks? You talking about breasts? Well, you can fault whoever you want, but if you're a woman, you got to walk around wearing that shit. So you can blame the man if you want, but you're the one who has to live with those breasts. The breasts look fine. See, it's the rest of the body that starts to fall off. That's the problem. See, when someone gets their breasts done, the breasts always look good. They can be 85 years old. The breasts still look healthy. The breasts look like you're 30. The breasts look 30, but the rest of your body looks 85. The breasts don't go. It's the rest of the body that goes. And the problem is the more you try to manufacture youth in your body that is no longer there, the more ridiculous it starts to look because gravity takes over and father time takes over. And as the saying goes, men know this phrase, father time is undefeated. We talk about that in sports all the time. Father time is undefeated. And this applies to women too, but a lot of women seem to want to try to defy time and defy gravity with surgery. Good thing is men haven't gotten around to this surgery shit, at least not in a ridiculous way yet. I see a man who's 60, he looks 60. If he's 50, he looks 50. Now, some men can look younger depending on how they take care of their bodies, etc. But you don't see men walking around with surgery. Now, some men do get surgery, but it's not a ridiculous epidemic with men as it is with women. And of course, it's not all women. Nikki said today she's there right now. She probably is. She's seen all the comments on social media. She probably is in the surgeon right now. Tillman Gibbons, good morning. What's going on? Nikki said he looks better too. Who, Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos, men tend to age better than women. Men tend to lose their kind of youthful looks later than women do. Generally speaking, not all men, but generally speaking. Bezos looks the same. He always looked the same to me. I am Skyra said, thank you. Money in our community. Yeah, exactly. I mean, every time she goes to the surgeon, she's putting money into the community. So y'all should be happy. Y'all should hope she keeps going back to the surgeon. She's just redistributing Jeff Bezos' money. Nikki said, Jeff looks like he's been working out as well. She made him get fit. I think he was getting fit. I think I saw Jeff Bezos with muscles before he got with this chick, Nikki. I don't know when exactly he got with this chick, so maybe it started at the same time, but I seen Jeff Bezos with muscles like several years ago. Love Sky says she's worth millions on her own. I don't know if that's true or not, Love Sky, but Jeff Bezos is worth billions with a B. I think she married, if anybody was marrying for money, it was her marrying him. He wasn't marrying her for money. He's marrying her for those breasts, probably, and whatever else she can do. Marky said, wedding planner made bank. Yo, yes, they did. Whoever it was, they made a lot of money. Zuckerberg was at the wedding. Okay, makes sense. George Soros was there. Also makes sense. Papa said, respect to all natural baddies out there. Yes, the challenge is, Papa Lane yet, is that it's getting harder and harder to tell who's natural. That's the problem. It's getting harder and harder to tell. So a woman who goes to the gym and earns her body, she has to announce that she's natural for people to believe or to know, quote unquote, that she's natural. And nowadays you get bitches out here lying, acting like they're natural when they're not. There are women I see walking around Miami who I know their bodies are not real. I know their bodies are not real. But if you look at their social media, they post videos of themselves in the gym working out as if they got the body that they have from going to the gym. They're not saying it in so many words, but they're fucking lying. And that's another thing. That's the next thing that's happening is you got people out here acting like they got it one way when they actually got it another way. And the line is becoming so blurred that it used to be, if those of you who are old enough to remember, in the 90s, if someone had plastic surgery, it was like a stigma. Like, you got plastic surgery, people looking at you like you were crazy. Nowadays, getting plastic surgery is like normal. It's like paying your taxes. Of course I got plastic surgery. Why not? I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's just a thing. And he guaranteed has a prenup. That I'm willing to bet money on. Rethano said he is not a person of substance. He is morally bankrupt robber baron. I wouldn't say that. He created Amazon from zero. We can't say he's not a person of substance when he created a company that every one of us is a customer of. Can't say a person doesn't have substance when they did that. That's a little bit too much. Now, you could say the other things if you want to say those in addition. I don't agree with you, but if you want to say that, you can add it on. But we can't say he's not a person of substance. He created fucking Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world. Thomas said the wedding was $56 million. Yeah, it sounded about that much. 400 people involved. Yeah, it was a big team. Nikki said, heard it was United Healthcare. I don't know if they said any specific company. I think they said just in the industry. We said, when does trucking enter into your visions? You asking me personally? Trucking? What about trucking? You should be asking, when does trucking enter into Amazon's visions? Because they're going to be your competition. User Miss said, that's why we want illegals off Medicaid. Well, that's one reason. We said Amazon uses the cheapest unsafe truck drivers. Well, what the cheapest truck driver, Lee and Lisa, is going to be computers. That's what's coming. That's the competition you should be considering, because Amazon does a lot of shipping. So they are incentivized to solve this problem of having to use people, period. They don't want people at all. They want computers. Thomas said, I made 200 plus Amazon Prime a day. What does that mean, Thomas? What do you mean you made 200 plus? You made what? Nikki said, Amazon Fresh has some good deals. I shop in store there. You mean an Amazon Fresh store? I don't know if there's any around me, but I believe I know they had one in Seattle, Amazon Fresh. And they were talking about the stores where you can there's no humans in there. So you can just, what's the word? Like, you can scan your items and pay without actually talking to a person. There's no Amazon Fresh I'm looking at all of South Florida here. I don't think there's any Amazon Freshes here. There are Whole Foods, but I don't think there's any Amazon Fresh. I just see Whole Foods. No, if there was Amazon Fresh, I would know about it. Amazon Fresh. So there's a pickup in San Antonio that I can see. Google Maps is acting up. Daniel Lee, good to see you. Sylvia said, what's the best way? I walked too much and I look flat. The best way to do what? E30 said, opinions on Big Beautiful Bill. I talked about that like 2 weeks ago. Carolyn Rudder said, Sydney Sweeney is the actress that Brady is chasing now. Yeah, that's the woman I was talking about. Big breast white girl. Lee said, I wouldn't let other people choose my food. Fair enough. Renee said, what have I walked into? We're solving oligarchy, Renee. We're solving oligarchy by getting all the oligarchs to marry women who like going to the plastic surgeon, and that's how we redistribute their money, because they got to pay. The men will pay for it every time. Terry says, some celebs make themselves unrecognizable. Some of them do. They overdo it. Nikki said, you're amazing. Love your show. Thank you. Nikki said, KK mom tried to hide it for years. Tried to hide what? The surgery? Working in logistics, they outsource so they can move the product. Oh, yeah, of course they do. Nikki said, lots of them here in California. You talking about Amazon Fresh? Vivian said, I think there is by my house. I live in Miami Springs. Yeah, there might be. Because sometimes they have like an Amazon Fresh counter inside of a Whole Foods store. So it's Whole Foods near me, but they'll have an Amazon Fresh counter. But not just an Amazon Fresh store. Oh, Thomas said, I buy from Amazon and resell back on Amazon. Well, Thomas, you better not announce that. Amazon might be listening. They say, oh, let's see what he's doing. And then they're going to start doing it and put you out of business. So you shouldn't announce that. Seven Outlaw said, Amazon use a lot of foreign drivers that don't speak English and have shoddy equipment. I believe you. I believe you. Vivian said, try Miami Springs or Doral or Virginia Gardens for Amazon Fresh. You have Amazon warehouses. Can you buy from the warehouse? Or is it a warehouse for people who work there? I know the area that you're talking about. You said, what area you say? Miami Springs or Doral? Okay, I'm going to zoom in that area, see if I see an Amazon Fresh. Let me restart Google Maps. It's giving me some trouble here. A couple more minutes, folks, then we're going to wrap in. Oh, so you can go there? Okay, I didn't know about that. I didn't know you could actually go to an Amazon Fresh and order stuff. Let me see. Let's look here. Now, for some reason, my Google Maps is acting up. But I'll take your word for it. I can't even see it right now. Tara Mills, I appreciate it. Thank you. I like the suit. So, folks, I do these live streams Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, we might talk about this healthcare scandal that got uncovered, the DOJ fraud uncovered. This is a much deeper topic. Today, this is more a surface level topic. And then we're going to come back to talking about Diddy. We haven't gotten any updates about the Diddy trial yet. Let me see if there have been any updates. I don't see any updates on the Diddy trial. So I follow this account called Diddy Trial Daily. I'm going to actually follow them and I'll unfollow them when this trial is over because they'll be useless. So right now the jury is just deliberating and they're all just getting clear on the rules for their deliberation. That happened yesterday. So today they're going to go back to deliberating. They should be deliberating right now. But there's nothing to announce until they come up with an actual announcement. So that's all we got for now when it comes to the Diddy trial. But we will get back to that whenever there is a conclusion. And that's that. So I will see you all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. By the way, if you click the link in my profile, you can go to the workonyourgame.live page. It's a free page that I made to give all the resources you need following up on this live stream. So you want to get one of my books for free, such as my book, The Third Day. You see it linked right there. That's this book right here. You want to get this book free, just go to thirddaybook.com. The book's free. Just cover the shipping. Excuse me. This book is all about how you show up and give your best effort when you least feel like it. We call those days the third day. Every professional deals with these days. How do you give your best effort on that day? This book right here solves that problem systemically and strategically. Go to thirddaybook.com. The book's free. Just cover the shipping. That link is at the link in my profile. So go to workonyourgame.live. You'll see links to all of my free books. Get on my email list and get in my group coaching program called The Circle. It's only $97 a month. For those of you who want to get some traction when it comes to your business and strategizing, getting the right mindset in place for your business, that's all inside the inner circle. Again, group coaching, $97 a month. You can get started right now today. And all the other links, everything else you need to know is on this page. Again, it's workonyourgame.live. That's the link in my profile on TikTok or the pinned link that you can see on the other apps that y'all are watching. Someone said they can't read the text. Yeah, you don't have to read the text. I'm just telling you what it is. So let me see if I flip my screen because I had it mirrored before and then people were saying, hey, can you mirror it the other way? And then let me mirror it this way. So if I flip it around like this, now it looks like that. Now this just changes my angle and the way that I do things. So then it looks like this. Like the live stream, here's your next move. So does it look better like this? How do y'all like the video angle? Do you like it better this way or the other way? So this is regular and this way is mirror. This is the mirror when it's flipped around. This is regular when it's flipped this way. Which way do y'all like? Regular or mirror? This is regular. No, this is right. Is this regular? Yeah, this is regular. The other way is mirror. So which way do y'all like? Regular or mirror? This is regular. Do you like this way or mirror? This way is regular, the way it is right now. So y'all can read the titles of my books, et cetera, et cetera. This is called regular. And this way is mirror. This is the mirror. So which one you like? Regular or mirror? You might have to put a poll out. I'm seeing a lot of votes for regular. I think many people might vote for regular simply because it's a change of pace from what I normally do. So regular looks like now I got to readjust the way I move relative to the camera now that I've changed it because now I got to know when I move left, it goes this way. Before it was the opposite. So now you can see the titles in my books. You can see everything that's on the screen. So this is the page. Like the live stream, here's your next move. You go to the link in my profile. It takes you to this page right here. You know, my email list for free right there. Just put your email list in. You'll be on put your email address in. You'll be on my list. My YouTube channel's there. Group coaching, my podcast link, my books, all there. Dre GPT, my free chat bot is there. My Instagram and X links are there. My assistant's email, my executive assistant's email is right there as well. So if you want to book that there, that's all at that page right there. Again, this is workonyourgame.live. That's the link in my profile on TikTok. All right, so we will wrap this one up here, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Now I got to remember how to move my camera. Now I got to retrain myself how to move the camera now that I did this. I will see you all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Topic to be determined. Everybody have a great Tuesday and happy new month of July. We are officially in the second half of 2025. Get your goals in place, folks, and let's get to work. We're out of here. Work on your game.